Hey there, it's me, part three. Okay, I'm getting old. I've got mush brain. That's one of the fun parts of menopause. Your brain just doesn't work like it should. But there are so many things I forgot to mention in my previous two sunscreen videos that are pretty important. I promise you I'm going to start writing stuff down so that I have something to refer to so I don't forget stuff. The number one most important thing that I forgot is this: sunglasses. Sunglasses. You have to wear them because not only do they block the sun's rays from this area, if you're squinting like this because the sun's so bright, gosh, these are going to come even faster. So please wear your sunglasses every day. I wear them through the winter. I always have them on unless it's really dark out, because of weather or whatever. But even on cloudy days, you are getting glare and you're getting UV rays like we talked about. Just wear your sunglasses, and try to get good ones that are 100% protection. Okay, so that's one thing. The next thing I forgot, and actually Tammy reminded me on her video, is when and how to apply sunscreen. And actually there's a difference depending on what kind you're using. If you are using a chemical sunscreen, that's one that does not contain titanium dioxide or zinc oxide, you have to apply it a minimum of 30 minutes prior to going out in the sun, because it has to penetrate. Because the way that those actually work is they absorb the sun rays, and in order to do that they have to be on the skin about 30 minutes in advance. Now, if you are using a physical sunscreen like the zinc or titanium, then you can apply it immediately before being in the sun and you'll be fine, because it works as a reflective. It's almost like lots of tiny little mirrors reflecting the sun off of you. So they work a little bit differently, but that's why I say, you know what, if it's in your moisturizer, it goes on first thing in the morning and you're good. Now that brings me to another thing I forgot to mention. I always take my facial moisturizer. Everything you do to your face, you should bring it down your face, down your neck, and then this little V here, area here, this is the area, if you look at women, this is where you really see our age the most. So everything I do this whole area, all the way, including sunscreen. Make sure that you are putting your sunscreen all the way down to kind of like right through here on the décolleté. And I want to add something to that, something that I'm not good about, but you heard me talk about on my sunscreen videos: the backs of the hands. Neck, décolleté, and backs of the hands are a surefire way to tell a woman's age. My hands, I've had a lot of different jobs over the years, and all of them have been hard on my hands, including now. I'm terrible about wearing gloves in hot water and chemicals and all that. So, but my hands really have taken a beating over the years. If you will daily, when you're doing your face, just take the last little bits and slap some on the back of your hand with your sunscreen, you won't get these. Let's see if I can. There's a difference between age spots and freckles. I mean, I've always had lots of freckles, which it's all caused by the sun. But what happens is, I can't really get the camera to pick this up. As you get older, they start clumping, it's called. The melanin sort of clumps together, and instead of getting tiny little freckle, you get a grouping, and that's what age spots are. And some people call it liver spots. Has nothing to do with the liver. But I just started seeing my first ones very recently, and it's awful. I look at my hands and I'm starting to think, oh no, I'm gonna look like my grandmother. So do better than me. Put your sunscreen on the backs of your hands every day when you're doing your face. So that was the other main thing that I forgot. Let's see. Some other things. Everybody's asking about some inexpensive options. I know that Aveeno makes a sunscreen that is physical, and I think it's their one for sensitive skin. Sometimes you can look for the ones that are for babies, because newborn up to 6 months, I believe it is, are not allowed to use chemical sunscreens. They're dangerous for them. So I know when my kids were babies, there's a special one, I think it was called Baby Blanket, and it's white, it's zinc, and it goes on kind of really thick. But any of those ones that are for newborns to 6 months old, those are going to be really safe for your skin. Like I said yesterday, if you are breakout prone, please be careful with the chemical sunscreens, because they can definitely clog your pores. Not to mention the chemical ones oftentimes go on feeling kind of greasy and sticky. So keep that in mind. I'm trying to think of any other brands that I'm aware of. What's that one? Bullfrog, I think. Um, there's a lizard one. Oh, I can't think what it's called. From Australia, that's really good. Um, but you know, the reason I try to give you ingredient names rather than brand names so much is because I think if you are armed with information, then you can go and make your own choices based on what you see. When you go to Walgreens, CVS, wherever you go to buy your sunscreen, if you want to buy it inexpensively, look for these ingredients that we're talking about. You want to see the least amount of chemicals possible, and you want to see that zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. Then you know you're getting physical sunblock. And your sunscreen should always say broad spectrum. Now, when it says UVA, UVB, broad spectrum, they usually are using chemicals to take care of that. I want you to go a step further, though, and look for the zinc and titanium dioxide. I just feel like you're getting better protection that way. And then I like the fact that it's immediate. So I hope that this gives you a little bit more information when you're out there in your quest to protect yourself. But just remember, daily sunscreen, super important. Wear those sunglasses every day because, you know, the crinkly eyes just aren't so attractive. And what else? I guess that's it. If you think of any other questions, write them below and I'll try to answer them. Thanks. Have a good day.